And we're back. We're in the E division. We've got a game between Fort Lauderdale 50 Shots against Kansas City Dirt Divas. We're in the E division here on the Cloud Sports Network at the 2018 ASANA Softball World Series in New Orleans, Louisiana. The Dirt Divas led off the inning with a single and the ground ball back to the pitcher. Not in time, as JD is safe at first, but Ashley was the one who started off that inning. She is forced out at second on the fielder's choice.
Hey, what do you say now? What do you say? What do you hit?
With me in the broadcast booth is Dr. Joel Trambley, who is here to help us put in some color into this commentary, as Allison comes up to the plate now, batting from the left side. Joel, good evening.
Good evening, Roman. Had some great softball today. Looking forward to this game.
This will be our final game of the night. Softball under the lights here. As we have a ground ball, and it's just going to go foul. That had a chance to be a base hit there.
It did.
But it was a strikeout, as that was the second strike of the at-bat, and you start with a 1-1 count already, so that second strike is your third strike, and so you're out. So I'll show explains how that works here in a second. So the 1-1 count here, it is called a ball, so now there are 2 balls and 1 strike. Our home plate umpire is Jimmy, who is making these calls. Good, strong, fundamental umpire, knows his stuff, keeps control of the game. Consistent strike zone, so they've got a good one behind the plate here, and we have a 2-ball, 2-count strike, 2-strike count. And that one is short, 3 balls and 2 strikes, so the count is full. That's JD at second, and Doe at the plate. Here's the pitch. Curved back over, a ground ball right past the shortstop, and Doe is going to get to first, as JD gets to second. I'll bring up Joni. Joel, what did you see there?
I saw a nice hit up the middle. That's sort of textbook for what a lot of teams do in the E division. And we should also mention with that 1-1 count that there is no foul to give, so to speak, at the World Series. So if you hit a foul ball, that is strike 3 and you are out.
Right. So that brings up Joni with 2 outs and 2 on. Ground ball right back up the middle past the glove of the shortstop. JD is going to head to third. They're going to wave her home. Here she comes. She's got plenty of speed. Here comes the throw at home. It is not in time. JD able to score from second. Doe gets to second. And Joni gets to first on the RBI. 2-out single. That is a clutch hit.
That is a clutch hit. Unfortunately, that throw at home didn't cost him anything. The catcher was able to keep it, even though it wasn't going to get the out, but none of the runners advanced.
So that'll bring up Megan with 2 outs and runners at first and second. 1 run in. So the Dirt Divas have played it a run. The score is 1-0 right now in the top of the first inning. There's a little flare back, and it goes foul. And we have it out. So that's the 3rd out.
And as much as that catcher jumped up to try to get that ball, that was the best outcome, because that, like we talked about before, bounces foul, and that's a strikeout.
So 2 strikeouts and 1 run have come across, and that 1 run is brought to you by PTS Logistics, an Atlanta-based third-party logistics provider specializing in white glove delivery service, custom fulfillment, long and short-term warehousing, and dry ice sales and distribution. Let them do a run for you. Check them out at pts-ga.com.
And if you look out there between home plate and the pitcher's mound, you're going to see 2 pink ribbons. That's because this is ASANA's Breast Cancer Awareness Day, so you'll see the ribbons, some teams in pink, and the umpires are in pink today. If we make a mistake and call them blues, it's because usually they're wearing blue, but for today, they put on the pink.
And the first pitch of the inning to the home team is going to be brought to us by who, Joel Trambley?
By the 2019 Sin City Classic. The Sin City Classic has 19 sports, thousands of athletes, and one heck of a good time. The 12th annual Sin City Classic will kick off January 17th, 2019. Registration will open soon. Come for the games, stay for the party. Find out more at sincityclassic.org.
So that'll bring up Hanson from the Fort Lauderdale Filthy Shots. I think in my promo in the last game, I called them 50 Shades. My apologies. I'm reading Laura Parker's handwriting, and I'm going to totally throw her under the bus on that. Here's the first pitch to Hanson. That is called a strike on the outside corner. It doesn't get much better than that from a pitcher. So it'll be Hanson, Johnson, and Garcias.
And you'll notice the pitcher out there has a full hockey-looking mask. That's something more pitchers are doing to protect themselves.
Yeah, it's like a catcher's mask there. Infield ball gets bobbled by 2 converging infielders, 1 outfielder and the second baseman, unable to communicate with each other. A little bit of a collision there, and the ball is safely on the ground for Hanson, who reaches base with an easy pop-up in the infield.
And that's a tough play. You want to hear somebody call that ball, but you can't call it till you're sure you have it, and nobody was sure.
That'll bring up Johnson, who takes a strike on the outside corner. So that pitcher so far wearing out that outside corner with these first 2 at-bats.
And just to mention that mask again, we talked earlier that those balls up the middle is where a lot of teams and coaches teach you to hit in E, so it's good protection.
Especially, you're just 50 feet away. And so when these balls come at you, they come at you hard and fast. And reflex times, for me, I know, aren't what they used to be. There's a little ground ball up to the shortstop. She's up with it and does get the ball to second, but not in time on the sliding Hanson. So Johnson is safe at first on the infield single. That'll bring up Garcia.
And the way ASANA classifies their players to decide which division they're in is based on what percentage of the time they do things. So you can be a good hitter if you're not as good at everything else. So there can be some people who could put a rip-up one up the middle.
Right, ratings are just based on what you can and can't do. There's a fly ball right up to the shortstop. Not going to call infield fly here as that ball reaches the ground safely. Lots of options to throw to. They choose the longest one. That's over to third from shallow right center field, and now the bases are full of shots.
And you mentioned the infield fly rule. That's a rule where if there are runners on first and second or first, second, and third with less than 2 outs, a short fly ball can be called and out in the air by the umpire, but it has to be an easily catchable ball.
There's a long fly ball to deep left field. That could clear the bases. Hanson scores. Johnson's being waved around home. Garcia's going to head to third. And she comes home.
And there's one of those hitters that can burn you if you're playing a little bit shallow.
So that's Miranda at third. Rivera comes in. And the score is 2. Here's the pitch to Rivera. Called the ball. Pitcher comes set. Here's the 2-2. 2-1. Now it's 2-2. Full count, sorry. The umpire has just corrected me. Called strike 3. Caught looking for out number 2.
Wearing out that outside corner again.
That was. Just floated right over there. And Rivera caught looking on the K for out number 2. That'll bring up Colonna. She hits a fly ball to the shortstop, who is up with it and gets the out. That's the third in the inning. 2 runs come across for the Filthy Shots of Fort Lauderdale as Colonna pops out to the shortstop.
You know, a lot of the E teams are new or fairly young, and sometimes the hardest thing is to find a pitcher who can throw strikes. But
we got one here.
That solved here, but you're not really surprised in the World Series. You probably wouldn't make it this far if you didn't have a good pitcher.
And we have seen even today veteran pitchers kind of just struggle with the strike zone, whether because it was the wind or a slippery ball.
And we've also seen some of those pitchers work the elements to their advantage when we had a game with the sun right in the batter's eyes, and there were balls from the pitchers in the sun right high and outside.
I saw, 3 or 4 swinging strikeouts in that last one? So that'll bring up Mel, number 23 from the Dirt Divas. Called strike on the inside corner.
And it's a little hard to judge from up here, but that ball has to get 6 feet in the air, and I think that's about the bottom of the strike zone on this.
That ball is short. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Not a lot of arc here. But it's still a legal pitch. That one had the oomph necessary, but it was just a little deep. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. That was a tough
one to take. If the ball doesn't go 6 feet and the umpires decided that, you'll see him put his arm out and he'll say illegal to the batter. But even then, sometimes the batter swings because they were ready to go before they heard it.
Yeah, that call can come in sometimes a little late, and by then you're already committed. So here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a foul ball. That's going to be a strikeout. Fouls that one off, does Mel. That'll bring up Molly, and then Don, and then Lisa.
A pitch can also be illegal if it goes too high, so you have to get right in the zone there between that 6 and 12 feet.
I have never in my career ever thrown a pitch that was too high. He says sarcastically. Molly comes up to the plate, hoping to fare better. Takes a strike, so there's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So if you're watching at home, this is an E-Division game. We're in the 2nd inning.
Short, 2-1.
Takes a ball there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is the top of the 2nd inning. Dirt Divas are the visiting team from Kansas City. And there's a little ground ball. She's hustling it out. Molly's running. Here comes the throw from the pitcher, but the ball pulls the first baseman off. Having a hard time seeing what the umpire's call is as Molly is able to get there, and the call is safe.
And it looks like what happened there, that's a tough play for the pitcher to make. It can be a tough angle. It was a great throw to get it there at all and have a chance. And it just pulled the first baseman off the bag enough that they couldn't get back. And the first baseman has to hit that white bag, not the orange one. The orange one is for the runner.
In that case, because that ball threw her off, then they switched. So the runner is obligated then to go for the white part of the bag, which I think she did there. Ground ball to the shortstop. She gets it over to 1, and a strong throw, but down in the dirt. And Molly is going to be forced out at second, but Dawn is safe at first. That is out number 2 on the fielder's choice. So is that what you saw happen there?
I think so, yeah. It looked like in the end the first baseman was going for the orange bag, and I couldn't quite tell from this angle if they got it, but apparently the ump did not think so.
So now with 2 outs and a runner on, here comes Lisa. Here's the pitch. That one goes inside, so Lisa takes the ball. After Lisa, we flip the lineup sheet over, and it'll be Ashley batting from the leadoff position. Lisa's ready to go. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one just short. Hits the plate, and we have 3 balls and 1 strike. Comes set, rocks back, and here's the pitch. That one right down the middle. No issue there. Leaves it take it all the way. Not a bad idea. Take it when you've got that much room to spare. But now, with a full count, she will definitely be looking to make something happen here if the pitch is hittable. Here's the 3-2. Looks good, and just pounds that into the opposing batter's box. And we have a strikeout.
And that's exactly why sometimes you don't take that pitch, or it's at least the batter's choice. A lot of times if you have what's called a foul to give, and that foul with 2 strikes isn't an out, but you get one more, then you might put a red light on a batter, but it's hard to come with that swing for your first swing when you've been watching them. And with that strikeout, we'll mention that it's brought to you by 100% Bully Proof. If you've ever been the victim of bullying, whether it was by family, at school, or at work, find out how you can transform your thoughts and actions to strike out your bullied spirit. Find out more about their boot camps or team building workshops at 100%bully-proof.com.
That'll bring up Jacques, Rodriguez, and Gayton coming up for the Fort Lauderdale Filthy Shots here in the bottom of the second inning. 2-1 is the score. If you're following along this ASANA World Series tournament, we have had some beautiful games today here on Elimination Friday. We're going to be back again for Championship Saturday, but we have had some amazing games today. We kind of feel blessed to be able to be here and bring these to you. We hope you've been enjoying them as we are here now in the E Division.
And if you've been away from ASANA for a little while, you might not know about the E Division, but this is really for new players to try to bring new folks into softball, get them enjoying it, and hopefully get them better and get them into D&C someday.
Or if you feel like you've been playing a while and your skill set has diminished a little bit with age or whatever else, this is a great division for you to come back. Oh, that ball lands fair. Fly ball to the third baseman. She looked like she had it all the way, and it just kind of got out from underneath her. And in sort of frustration, throws that ball over to first. But Jacques was not running, so that'll bring up Rodriguez. And that's really one of the beautiful things about ASANA is whether you were born with the ball in your hand or you're just learning how to throw, there is a spot for you.
There is a spot. There's going to be a team to play for, and they're going to provide a great experience for you.
And they are all over the country as these two teams demonstrate there. There's a fly ball down to left field that is going to drop. And we now have runners at first and second and nobody out.
And it's great for a team to get to come to the World Series and play. It's very exciting, and you rarely lose somebody from a softball league once they've been to the World Series to see play at this kind of level.
Unless they win it all, then they might just say it's never going to get better than that. I think if I ever won a World Series, I might just say, you know what, I'm good now. 26 years later.
I'm with you, but there's those who would want the second one.
Right? So that's number 84, Gayton, coming in now. Runners at first and second. And that's a called strike on the outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Kansas City Dirt Divas against the Fort Lauderdale Filthy Shots. The Filthy Shots are the home team. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch. And that one is fouled off. Strike 3 for the first out. That was Gayton. That'll bring up Keith.
And both these leagues very well represented at the World Series. Fort Lauderdale has, I believe, 3 teams just in the E Division. And Kansas City has multiple teams in the divisions.
Yeah, Kansas City came to play, didn't it?
They did. I think they brought as many as they could.
Makes you wonder if there are any women's softball players left in Kansas City right now.
Well, and Kansas City's putting themselves on the map in softball.
There's a fly ball to the shortstop. Umpire called infield fly there.
I believe, was the World Series there last year, Roman?
Kansas City?
Kansas City.
The NAGA World Series is going to be there next year.
Next year.
There's a ground ball to second base. Bobbles it, tries to get a hold of it, makes the throw over to first in time, and that will be the third out as Boyd grounds out 4-3.
This transition is brought to you by Sports Diversity Leadership Council. The Sports Diversity Leadership Council, or SDLC, is a membership organization of sports teams, leagues, and organizations, as well as corporate partners, convention and visitors bureaus, sports commissions, and individuals working together to harness the power of the sports community. ASANA is a proud member of the SDLC, and you can find out more at sportsdiversityleadership.com.
That'll bring up Sawyer here. Bottom of the order for the Dirt Divas, and then we'll flip the lineup sheet. Sorry, I said that was Sawyer. That's actually Ashley leading off here. We already flipped the lineup sheet. Folks, it's a long day. 12 hours later. Of course, you could argue that with all that experience, I should be able to figure out how to read a lineup card. Got a 2-1 game as Lisa takes a walk, or Ashley takes a walk. She's still not Lisa Roman. As Ashley takes a walk to lead off the third inning. That'll bring up JD. There's no wind out there at all. Those flags are not moving. Here's the pitch. I don't know if we can get a shot of that American flag out in the outfield. I don't know if we can see it or not. But that American flag out there is just not moving at all.
They were blowing out briskly earlier in the day and then a little bit from left to right, but shouldn't be anything messing with those fly balls in the air this evening.
A little wind kicks up there now, so the flag is moving a little bit. JD still in the box here. Goes after that pitch. A little soft liner right to the shortstop. Ashley was caught cheating. She heads back to the box. The ball gets away on the throw. Ashley's going to hold there for the first out. Is JD. Allison will come up. Allison struck out the last inning. Hopes to amend that behavior.
And that's a heads-up play to try to get that out at first. That's something that you can help your pitcher out a lot if you can make that happen.
So we've got a turf infield here and a grass outfield. You can see the brown colored part of the turf looks like it's dirt, but it's really just brown turf out there. So that is an entirely turf infield. And then you can see where the turf ends and the grass converges. You can kind of see a little confluence there. And so it's a grass outfield. Allison goes after that one, sends it over to second base. She's just going to underhand over to first to get the out. And she does, so that's 2 outs.
And that grass out there has been wet since some rain we had earlier in the day, so you may see some splashes out there, but most of the fielders have been able to keep their footing.
And with this heat, you would have thought that that moisture would have evaporated, but there's so much humidity in the air. I don't think the air needs it.
Yeah, it looks like the turf dried, but the field is still wet. The other thing notable about the outfield is that it is much deeper in left, about 270 down the line, and only about 215 down the right field line. So we've seen some balls come off that fence, and things that looked like they might go for double or triples came back right back in for a single.
Right, long singles. Outfield's playing pretty much straight away with a runner at second and 1 out. Here's the pitch. Doe goes after that one, and it's a little Texas leaguer out in between second and right center.
And there's that splash we were talking about.
Right, and Ashley was afraid she was going to get doubled up. She had to go halfway. Then when she saw that the ball landed, she headed over to third. So Doe is safe at first, and I said we had 1 out, we have 2. We really should have been running on contact there. That'll bring up Joni. This makes me wonder, where's Chachi? Joni don't need no Chachi.
Somewhere in the 80s, I think.
Right, along with my sense of humor. Here's a runner at first and third. The other color you'll see on the infield is those pink ribbons, as we are honoring breast cancer awareness here at the ASANA World Series, as Joni grounds out to the shortstop, who on the fielder's choice opts for that run at second to get the out there. That was Doe running, so she is out on the fielder's choice.
We've got another fairly low-scoring game on our hands. About the third one in a row.
2-1 here. On Breast Cancer Awareness Day, we are honoring the Lynn Lewis Foundation. That is an organization named after a player named Lynn Lewis who was battling breast cancer, and her motto was never give up. She was able to fight long enough to see a foundation put up in her honor and a tournament put up in her honor, and she has inspired hundreds, if not thousands, of athletes the nation over, as her motto of never give up ultimately had to give in as she lost her battle last year, and the foundation then changed the logo to never gave up, because Lynn never did. And these athletes out here honor her today in various shades of pink, both her memory and her legacy of keeping breast cancer awareness in the front mind of all the women at this tournament, and all the men as well. And we have a strikeout. That was Hansen. No, I'm sorry, that was not a strikeout.
And that's a great connection for ASANA and for sports in general, because we've all had so many players, too many players in the league who know someone and have been affected by cancer.
So I got fooled again. That was in fact a strikeout. I think Sawyer wasn't aware that it was 1-1 count, or that there was none to give.
Not bad to try to stand in there and get one more pitch.
See if you can. Veteran move there, we'll call it. Here comes Hansen now. She got on and got over and got in her last inning. That ball's not caught. And these little dinkers are providing the offense today.
Just finding the right spot with a little green.
That'll bring up Johnson. Runner at first, that's Hansen. Sawyer with the strikeout.
And if the fielders look like they're in a slightly different position than you've seen most of the day, it's because this E-team is playing a rover, so somebody right behind second base to try to take away those little fly balls and those little grounders up the middle.
Ground ball right at the third baseman. She fires over to the second, gets that out there for the fielder's choice. Johnson is safe at first, but Hansen is out. That'll bring up Garcia.
That rover can work really well, but what you give up is bigger gaps in the outfield. So if you look at right center, somebody who can put a ball out there deep is going to be able to run all day. Though the short wall makes it a little bit easier to take that risk. And there's a strike.
Pardon me, folks. We had some unruly umpires. We had to. There's the line drive. That's a good, solid base hit there. As Garcia gets to first, and that ball's going to go all the way to the wall. Johnson round second, heads for third. She's going to round third and head for home. She's going to score as Garcia gets all the way over to third on the stand-up triple that goes all the way to the wall. And that scores a run for the Filthy Shots, as we now have a 3-1 ball game. Miranda comes up. 2 down.
And that ball hit. Oh, that ball hit the plate, which is an automatic ball. We hadn't mentioned that before, but some things are in the umpire's discretion, but when it hits the plate, that's going to be a ball.
Right, that strike zone can vary from umpire to umpire, but the one thing that they all agree on is a ball hitting the white part of the plate is a ball. There's a ground ball right up the middle, past the extended glove of the second baseman, and Garcia is going to make it in to make it a 4-1 ball game. That'll bring up Miranda. Check that. That's Rivera coming up. Here's the pitch. That one hits the plate. The very back corner of the plate.
Very back corner. And every once in a while, that gets called a strike, and when you ask why, they say it hit the black, not the white of the plate.
Here's a runner at first. 2 outs there, that's a strike. There's a little tapper back to the first baseman. Not able to get it. Rivera's going to hustle that one out.
That's a tough one. If that one gets by the pitcher rolling that slowly, it is a hard play for anybody else.
That'll bring up Kelowna.
And one of the other interesting things about this field is the line that the pitchers are throwing from is much wider than the rubbers that are on a lot of fields. So this pitcher's pitching from far to her left side. So that was a hard one to get. It was way across from her.
They're swapping out runners there for Rivera. Miranda at second, Rivera at first. Here's the pitch to Kelowna. She lets that one go outside. Two outs here. Should this inning continue, we would see Jacques after Kelowna. She goes after that one, hits a soft ground ball to shortstop, who's up with it, not able to recover easily. And by the time the ball gets out of her hands, the runner is safe at second. That's Rivera, so Kelowna's on board. Sees it's first. Rivera is safe at second, and Miranda's able to get all the way over to third, and that'll bring up Jacques with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
And that was great base running coming to second to hustle to make that play, but with the slide that kept her on the bag.
There's the fly ball. Left center field. That's going to drop. Miranda will score. Rivera rounds third, heads home, and Kelowna is able to get over to third too in a little sneaky fashion, and that will put Jacques at first on a 2-out, 2 RBI single to left center field. And that's 4 in this inning to make it 6-1. Filthy shots over the Dirt Divas. There's a fly ball. Third base. She's up with it. Got it for the out, and that will be the end of the third inning as we head to the top of the fourth. Dirt Divas trailing 6-1. We've had some really good softball out here today. And you folks there on Facebook and YouTube have really made it exciting to be here because you have been just commenting and liking and sharing. We hope you continue. We are energized by your interactions and your engagement. We appreciate you.
And it has been some great softball. The past couple games before this were some really defensive gems in the C-League. Low-scoring affairs with double plays turned and just some amazing throws from the outfield.
And here in the E Division, we are seeing athletes coming. This is, I believe, the third year that ASANA has had an E Division. Making sure that softball is accessible for everyone, give you an opportunity to learn the sport, grow and develop, or continue playing as your skills have maybe aged you out of some of the more advanced divisions. That brings up Megan. Because the one thing that doesn't change, whether you're just learning or you've been playing for a while, is the heart and passion that you play with. And we have seen across the divisions, hard ground ball there back to pitcher. She's up with it and gets the out at first. Megan is out on the fielder's choice. That goes 1-3. One of the things that we have seen, and Joel, I know you'll agree with this, is just how much passion we have seen at this World Series.
Absolutely. Everybody is playing their hearts out. We saw a team have to lose a game and come right back to play the next game with no break. They still put it all on the line out there.
Such is the nature of this kind of championship level. You don't get here unless you're able to support your team, support your teammates, and play with all the passion that you have. And that's what we have seen. We have seen folks who have taken time off of work, paid a lot of money to come out here, and they're bound and determined to make it worth it. There's a little ground ball to the pitcher from Mel, and the pitcher's able to get that out as well as the play goes 1-3 twice in a row. That'll bring up Molly.
And even in this E division, you know, you'll hear people say that E isn't meant to be competitive, and I'm not sure that's true in the local leagues. But these players are out there doing everything they can to win this game.
They are. These folks came to play. These are competitors out there, athletes. As Molly takes a strike. But I have heard that, and there's just nothing more pejorative than someone saying that. It's diminishing, and it's just not true. I mean, watch these players play and tell me that these aren't athletes out here competing. Molly will take the strikeout. That's out number 3 as the Dirt Divas go down in order.
We've seen slides on the turf. We've seen people laying out over their heads. We saw some just, you know, forward flops into water just to try to get a softball. Nobody is out here putting in half an effort.
No, there are no half days here. These folks are playing their hearts out. Dirt Divas take the field. Trailing 6-1. Kansas City trails Fort Lauderdale here. The Filthy Shots come up trying to extend their lead. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. As Gaetan hits a little fly ball to the third baseman for out number 1.
And the Dirt Divas have their rover out there again. It looks like she's shading a little bit to one side or the other, depending on the batter, but pretty close up the middle on behind second base.
Gaetan trying to crossfield that ball. Here comes Key. Swings and misses there. Hit into the infield fly earlier. Not an option here with no runners on. And fouls it off for strike number 3. So a little pop fly to the third baseman and a strikeout gets Kansas City's Dirt Divas 2 quick outs they needed. That'll bring up Boyd. Nobody out with 2 outs and nobody on. Umpire behind the plate, Jimmy calls that a ball. A little bit deep. Leslie's pitch is just foul.
Just foul.
And almost hit that line. And with that kind of English on the ball, Boyd could have been running for a minute.
Probably would have made it to first, but there's not as much foul territory here as there are in some leagues, so.
Plays off that one. That was close pitch to take.
I'm thinking that one might have been high. Not illegal high, but high for the batter, because I'm not sure what else was wrong with it.
And Boyd took some steel to take that, but is able to earn a walk on the next pitch that was a little more obviously a ball. And she earns herself a 2-out walk. Gives way to Sawyer. Number 420 there.
This is the second one we've seen today.
Is indeed. And neither of them were California teams. There's a strike right on the inside corner. Good pitch. 2 outs, 1 runner on. Molly gets the ball back. Here's the pitch. And a swinging strikeout. And that is what the Dirt Divas needed. Maybe rest that momentum away from the Filthy Shots as this 6-1 ball game is slowly running out of time.
That was some very good pitching. Throwing strikes, knowing how to get those outs.
we head now into the top of the 5th inning.
We've been seeing some games make it the full 7. This one could be close.
Could be close. Top of 5 here. That'll bring up Dawn and then Lisa. Dawn hit into a fielder's choice in her last at bat. Let's see what she does here. That ball hits the plate for 2 balls and 1 strike, again entering the box with a 1-1 count.
Hard to say how the players feel, but I kind of like that the E Division is playing at night. It's hard to get experience outside of tournaments under the lights, and it's probably a good experience to get them some time in the night games.
True that. Dawn hits a little comebacker to the pitcher, who was able to cover to get the out at first as the play goes 1-3. Bring up the opposing pitcher, Lisa. Struck out in her last at bat.
1 down now, 1 out.
It's been hot today. It's been rainy today. It's been windy today. There's a ground ball hit right past the second baseman. That was a hard hit ball, and Lisa's going to be safe at first.
Good to get a glove on that one at all. That was hard into the backhand side.
That'll flip the lineup card, so Ashley will come on, and then we'll bring in a runner for Lisa. Ashley's 1 for 2.
1 out, lady.
The command from these pitchers has been impressive. Really all day, and up to and including this game as well. As a called strike on the outside corner makes me look like Karnak.
It has. They've been very impressive, and even not just throwing strikes, but getting used to the umpire's strike zone and being smart about it.
1-2. Ashley hits a ground ball to shortstop. She's up with it, makes a good recovery. But the out is recorded at second.
Nice backhand play by the shortstop.
Good fundamental. Takes the step, brings the glove across the body, goes down to get it. And that fielder's choice from Ashley makes her safe at first. But Lisa's runner is out at second for the second out. I'll bring up JD.
2-1.
0 for 2. Hit a hard line drive though in her second at bat. Here's the pitch. Called strike again. There's that control. Right on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch.
If you're going to get that corner, you might as well keep throwing it there.
And it's not really, I mean, she's just throwing it right over there. It's curving over and catching that corner. And there's a pop up to the shortstop. She looks like she's got it. She does. That'll be the third out. So JD pops to short for out number 3. That'll bring up Allison Doe and Joni if we get to it. As we head now into the bottom of the 5th inning. Filthy Shots will switch their lineup over. We'll have Hanson coming on to see if they can extend this lead a little bit. It's 6-1. Filthy Shots from Fort Lauderdale over Kansas City's Dirt Divas as we head into the bottom of the 5th.
And that was another nice piece of pitching. Right after going on the outside corner, she came inside with the ball and got that little pop-up.
So tomorrow is Championship Saturday. We'll be here for 8 games, up to and including the championship games in each division. We will have each championship game live for you here on the Cloud Sports Network. Broadcasting on the ASANA Facebook channel and the ASANA YouTube channel. We're proud of our partnership with this amazing organization and proud to be bringing you these games live as Hanson leads off with a single to left center field. Hanson not really looking at the ball as that has gotten away from everybody, talking with either the folks on her dugout or the first base coach. But she stayed put either way. Do you think there was an opportunity to advance there?
I think there was. I didn't see the umpire call time. Sometimes they will have, but usually not till an infielder has control of the ball. So that ball coming in from the outfield, she probably could have run. The ball was probably still live.
It didn't look like the ball was getting it away from anybody, so she might have just assumed that the play was dead.
Yeah.
Johnson hits a ground ball off the pitcher. Hansen is safe at second. Johnson is safe at first. And here come the filthy shots. Trying to add on here. That'll bring up Garcia. Nobody out, runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. That one called a strike right there. This control from these pitchers is really phenomenal. There's a ground ball right back at the pitcher. She sees that force at third just waiting for her, so she goes and takes it. And that'll be the first down. So the play goes 1-5 as Hansen is forced out at second, and Johnson makes it to, Hansen is forced out at third. Johnson makes it to second, and Garcia is safe at first on the fielder's choice. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. She's up with it, gets it over to second in time. There's out number 2 on the fielder's choice. That was Garcia forced out there. And Johnson gets the third. So Miranda is the one who hit that ball. That'll bring up Rivera. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. That ball sails outside. Never really had a chance on that one.
Too far off the corner on that one.
Yeah, I think I've thrown that pitch many times. It's usually just being late with the release point. Had plenty of oomph, just kind of pulled it across the body a little bit. And when you're throwing from that side of the pitching rubber, you're not going to cover any corners of the plate. Comes back here with a strike, though.
Yep, right down the middle. No problem there. Sometimes if you throw one outside, you try to correct and throw it inside, but that was perfect.
Gets her to go fishing for that one, and she does. Ball gets to the rover, but not in time for the play. And Johnson will come in to score as Dirt Divas as Filthy Shots takes a 7-1 lead.
But that's the kind of play that rover's there for, and you look brilliant as a manager when they can make it work.
That'll bring up Kelowna with runners at first and second. That's Miranda at second, Rivera at first. Kelowna hits a little ground ball to the third baseman, and that's going to be it. But a run is plated by the Fort Lauderdale Filthy Shots as the Kansas City Dirt Divas come into the top of the 6th inning, trailing by 6.
And that's a smart play by the third baseman to finish it off. No reason to throw that ball, risk an error, just run it to your bag and tag it. I feel like this game has picked up speed in the later innings.
It really has, yeah. We'll see if Dirt Divas come out a stirring rally here. Looks like that's Allison coming to the plate. That's who's due up here. Fort Lauderdale has made a change. We'll figure out what that is. Defensive substitution, it looks like. Not sure where. We'll pick it up as we come in. Allison comes to the plate. Strikeout in her first at-bat, grounded out to second in her second at-bat. As the top of the 6th inning commences here, Dirt Divas down 6. Allison gets a hold of that one, sends it right over the second baseman's head, but she recovers and sends it over to first, but not in time. Allison is safe at first, legging that one out all the way.
And you know, she didn't quite make it, but that's good focus to have that ball go by you and still have the state of mind to say, hey, I can still get this and try to get it over to first.
That'll bring up Doe. 2 for 2 so far on the day, in the game. Here's the pitch. Caught that corner. Good pitching there, putting on a clinic here. Sends a flare out to right field. That should drop, and it's going to. Allison will get to second as the ball rolls past the right fielder. Allison chugs around second, heads for third. She's going to get there as Doe takes the aggressive turnaround first, thinking about going to second, but she does not, as Allison goes from first to third on the ball, hit to right field by Doe, who is an impressive 3 for 3 against a good pitching Fort Lauderdale. Filthy shots. That'll bring up Joni, who pinch run earlier in last inning, so she's got some speed here. Here's the pitch. That one is called a strike on the inside corner.
And that's good base running to get to third. Just watch your coach. The play's behind you, might not see it, so just do what the coach is telling you.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Goes outside. Doesn't get it. So that's kind of been her MO. Inside, outside, inside, outside.
And sometimes that almost flat one on the outside, but he's been consistently giving it all day, so you got to swing at it.
Here's the 2-2. Little tapper back to first. She's going to throw that over to the shortstop, who's going to have no shot at a double play because of Joni's speed hustling down that line. But as a result, as the play goes 1-6, Doe is going to be out at second, and Joni's going to be safe at first. But Allison, because that ball was kept in the infield, was not able to score from third. One out here. Dirt Divas trying to claw back into this one.
Oh, it's a plate.
That ball missed just a little bit short and inside.
And on that last play, the pitcher did everything she could to try to let that double play happen, getting it right over the bag, leading the shortstop maybe a little bit too much, but just wasn't going to make it.
Well, Joni's speed made sure of that. And there's a little ground ball to the shortstop. Joni is on her way to second. She's going to be there in time. There's that speed we were talking about.
She hustled that batter into a base hit right there.
She absolutely did. But Allison still, because this ball hasn't left the infield, Allison still was not able to score. So we've got bases full of Divas here. As Megan reaches base safely, Joni's at second, Allison's still at first, and Bell comes up to the plate, and we're going to have a little conference on the mound.
And that's smart. Just get the pitcher to take a breath, make sure everything's okay. First time in this situation this game.
Bases loaded. The base hit here could make this lead more manageable. One out. Here's the pitch. Short. And that's one where she just let go of the ball too early. Again, a release point issue. That looked like it was headed to be on that outside corner. See if she goes back out there again. Here's the 2-1. Tries to get that call on the inside corner. She did. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see if she heads for the outside corner again this time.
It's a nice pitch. Easy to overcorrect, but she put just the right amount of arc on that one after that low one.
Yep. Comes right back after it. And Megan strikes out. And that's Mel strikes out. And that'll bring up Molly. Go for 2. But with the bases loaded, definitely wants to get some kind of hit. 2 outs, so everybody has to run on contact with the bases full, whether it's in the infield or in the outfield. Here comes the pitch to Molly. She takes a strike on the outside corner.
There it is again.
Molly, she's going to throw to you inside next.
But having the fast runner at second can help that she's got to start at 2 outs, running on contact. Might get that second run home.
And as predicted, there was the inside pitch, but not a strike. It was inside.
Tough to take, though. Tough to take.
Tough to take, especially when you're trailing and you've got runners all around.
But good eye on that one.
Here's the 2-2. Goes for it outside. Molly sends one into right field. That's going to drop. Base hit. Molly comes through with her biggest hit of the night. That ball gets bobbled by the right fielder. 2 runs will score. Allison comes in for short. Joni is able to hustle all the way in herself, and Molly comes through with a 2-out, 2 RBI single to right field. Way to go, girl, as Megan makes it all the way over to third.
Might have helped to have 2 outs and be run on contact, but I think Joni was going to make that one anyway.
Well, Joni with her speed was off to the races as soon as that ball was on contact. You're right. She was hustling down that line. There's a strike on the inside corner. This lead is now a little bit more manageable with another run out there just 70 feet away for Dawn. The pitcher on deck. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. She's going to flip it over to second for the out. Molly will be out there, but not until she hits a 2-out RBI single. But it's not enough, as the Dirt Divas come up short here in this game against the Fort Lauderdale Filthy Shots. So that was their shot. Dirt Divas unable to extend this game any further, and that will be it for them, as Filthy Shots will survive to advance. That was a good game, a lot of effort, a lot of heart there, and some really solid, accurate pitching. And with that, we'll give it over to Joel Trambley for our final thought of the day.
Just a reminder that today is ASANA's annual Breast Cancer Awareness Day. ASANA knows that screening and early detection are critical to improving outcomes in breast cancer survivors, and encourages all players and all women to talk to their healthcare provider about when and how to get screened. Together, we can save second base.
Folks, we appreciate your joining us for all of these games. Your support, your views, your shares have been just truly awesome. We know there's a hunger out there for this, and so we will be back again tomorrow, bringing you the championship games of the 2018 ASANA Softball World Series here on the Cloud Sports Network, broadcasting from Chalmette, Louisiana, just outside of New Orleans. For Super Volunteer Laura Parker, CTO Mitch Barnes, and my broadcast partner today, Joel Trambley, this is Roman Jimenez signing off for the day from the 2018 ASANA Softball World Series.